So Wales clean up the Grand Slam, Cardiff city centre needs cleaning up, and the way that Ireland and England melted, well, it was a messy weekend. Hi guys, welcome back. So there you have it. Wales win the Six Nations, deservedly so. They really take Ireland to town in this game. 25-7 to Ireland, but it was very nearly 25-0. And first point of order, the roof was open. It was a dogfight. It was who wants it more. And I guess in hindsight, Ireland will be regretting keeping the roof open. I don't know if it would have made a difference particularly, but to the style of game it would. And why would you want to take Wales on in a dogfight when they've got everything to play for at home? And that's what it was essentially. Wales wanted it more, they were more focused, they were more ruthless, and Ireland could not get into the match because, once again, Wales didn't let them. So let's just go through the match. I'm going to go through each individual nation in separate videos. I'm just going to look at the two matches today, obviously starting with the Wales-Ireland game. Biggar had to come on quite early, and actually that was a positive thing really. Both Biggar and Anscombe have played really well in this championship, and I was thinking, who would it have to be, Biggar or Anscombe? And I think the answer is they both get on really well together, they both work well together, they can be flexible. And him coming on as well, I thought just added another street fighter, another cool head in that hot, white hot cauldron of the Principality. But yeah, there was mistakes from both sides, but it was the scoreboard pressure. Wales took their chances, they built that score, and they just kept the pressure applied and applied, and as the game got further away from Ireland, they had to chase the game. And in wet, windy weather, you just don't want to chase the game. And against Wales's defence, and it just got more and more and too much for Ireland, and they just melted, like I mentioned. So some key moments. Anscombe's little reverse chip to Hadley Parkes, I think it was. Brilliant. Obviously, we've seen players do it before, but it's a really hard skill to do. Facing one way, chipping the other way. Absolutely brilliant. Some other key moments. So Hadley Parkes again, he comes in with a Superman tackle, I would call it, on Stockdale. Stockdale just has his momentum checked, but then you'd think he might be able to accelerate away from Parkes. He can't. Parkes nails him. Another big momentum shift, and all these big moments Wales got right. They get a Standard takes a free kick quickly at the base of the scrum and kind of knocks it into his own player, accidental offside. They could have just taken another scrum. So Ireland were getting all these big momentum changes wrong. Wales were getting them all right. And that's what's important for Wales, I think, going into a World Cup year. I don't want to go on about this too much, but this championship mentality, when things have mattered, Wales get them right. And that's a fantastic habit to get into. So into the second half, the conditions are just getting worse and worse. So it's 19-0, and Ireland, they just can't get back into this game. How are they going to get back 19 points, 20 points in these conditions with the way Wales are playing? Ireland fans, can you just tell me, were you unlucky with some of the decisions, or was it the fact you were just forcing it, you were on the back foot, you deserved what you got? I couldn't quite work out if you were a little unlucky on some decisions or not, but let me know. And they're just making more and more mistakes. Ireland start to crumble in this second half. Johnny Sexton makes mistakes, passes the ball into touch, kicks it out on the full. And when you're in those tight situations, you need players like Sexton to be vocal but positive but energising. And we've seen throughout this championship he can get very petulant when the game's going wrong. And it's not good for the whole team, from your senior player, maybe your best player, to be like that for sure. So that's something they need to think about. And Ireland just can't get out of their own half with their kicking game or their running a game. They give away penalties. It went 22-0. Was on 54 minutes. Ireland actually got together a little bit of a decent running play, some good phases, kick to the corner. They get some 5-metre line-outs, but they can't score. Wales's defence is too good. They force the knock-on. and it's just all over. They can't get anywhere. So on 60 Minutes I had the question, can Wales nil Ireland? And they nearly did. Obviously in the last play of the game, Lama scores, which is probably the only positive for Ireland really. Not to be nilled, that really would be humiliating. But again, just the Welsh singing was amazing throughout the game. They knew they'd won it with like 20, 30 to go, I guess. The party was happening. If you're a Wales fan, comment on your experience of that weekend. It must have been fantastic. Obviously, you can be so proud of your team. Just a championship mentality team. Again, didn't play blockbusting rugby, but they didn't have to, they didn't need to, and they chose the right decision. And goodness sake, build a statue of Alan Wynne-Jones, please, somewhere, give him whatever he wants, knighthood, all the awards, accolades, whatever. Absolute legend, loads of good players for Wales, but throughout the championship, he is an absolute, totem. He is just the centrepiece of everything that's good about Welsh rugby. So, someone wrap him in cotton wool, go and hide him somewhere till the World Cup. He is absolutely vital for you. What a player. Best player of the modern era for Wales, I think, easily. Certainly best forward of the modern era. Comment below if you agree or disagree on that. But yeah, really well deserved. Well done, Wales. Enjoy that Grand Slam because they've earned it. Okay, let's mention the England-Scotland game, because yes, it was irrelevant in terms of the championship, but it was an interesting game. It was a crazy game. I came out of it with a massive headache, didn't really know what to think. Now I've got a fair handle on it, I believe. Now obviously England started fast again, as they have done a lot of games. Played excellent rugby in that first half. Blew Scotland away, tries after 1 minute, Slade feeds Noel, cuts back in 7-0. They do a nice driving maul off a no jump line out, I like that, 14-0. Good phase play, offloads, Launchbury scores, quick tap penalty, Slade's little flick inside to May scores, and it is just champagne stuff. And this was brilliant. And then England starts to get a little bit loose. They start believing their own hype, that they think that Scotland are not that good. They're complacent. McAnally gets an amazing interception, runs in from 50, 40 metres. He's been a great player, and that just sparked that resurgence, if you like. And in the second half, apparently the English coaches were talking to England about tightening up, about being more clever with what they're doing, about, just managing the game, seeing it out, all those sorts of things, and they completely ignore it. Now, why is that? Well, I think England just get excited. They get carried away with their own hype. They're immature psychologically, and they get caught into this groupthink where everyone just wants to play and no one there's saying, no, wait, hold on a minute. They're all getting carried away. I'd call it immaturity on the pitch, if you like. And Scotland can play. Scotland are good. They've got good players. We know it. And as England got looser, Scotland started getting their confidence back and really started to play. And I think the main thing was England at the start of the first half actually started at 100 miles an hour, played okay, but couldn't score, and they played themselves out. They looked knackered. England looked knackered. They were knackered on the pitch. But their fitness numbers apparently are amazing, but they've run themselves into the ground by attacking from everywhere, trying everything, and then they're just emotionally and physically exhausted, and Scotland kick into gear. So anyway, England overplay, Scotland get into some great attacking shape, Graham scores, what a great finisher Darcy Graham is. Is he a starting player now for Scotland? I think probably yeah. Bradbury hits a fantastic support line. Really, that is a cracking support line to score his try, 31-19. Bradbury is a head-down, hard-running, honest player. So he's been quite a good positive for Scotland, actually. Then Graham scores again, good finish, 31-24, and then Russell picks a fantastic interception, straight off Farrell, absolutely gutting for Farrell. He gets taken off shortly after that. And then Johnson's line off Russell. Brilliant from Russell. Tuolangi atrocious, but brilliant from Russell. Russell was looking at the deep player with his eyes and then plays the short pass without looking. Tuolangi buys Russell's eyes, starts drifting out. Just absolute schoolboy error, but genius from Russell. You know, if in doubt, if you've got a 3-on-2, you take the 2 and drift out to the 3rd. I mean, it's absolutely schoolboy stuff. But, you know, Russell just does him with his eyes. Brilliant. Great finish from Johnson. Why on earth was Johnson dropped for Horn? I don't know. Then Farrell gets taken off. He goes, what, me? It's like, yeah, you. Ford comes on, and fair play to Ford. He kicks England into gear, gets them organised. They go through some good phases and score a nice try. Heartbreak for Scotland, because that would have been like the greatest comeback in Six Nations history. Did England deserve to lose? Well, in the second half, I guess they did, but they played great in the first half. So 38-all, whatever, we'll take it. It's a crazy, crazy game. What can we learn from that game? Well, loads of inexperienced players, you know, like Genge, but lots of other players. The halfbacks, again, not taking responsibility, not seeing the big picture. They're all getting excited. They can't make these decisions for themselves, and it is a big issue. You know, I liken it to England are a bit of a sports car, if you like, a Ferrari. You know, they've got all that power there, but they're being driven by a teenager a bit. You know, when things go wrong, they get out of control. Scotland will be, maybe that saved their Six Nations, that second half, but they're very inconsistent. They can play great, but they can be pretty average as well. So, a bit of thinking for those two, but really the story's all about Wales. Wales are strong, Wales are solid, Wales have championship mentality. Gatland wins another Grand Slam to, you know, stick it to all his detractors, which there are many. And yeah, really enjoy it, Wales. Well done. I'll be back with individual videos about each nation and about how they've progressed towards the World Cup. But until then, I will see you later.